Found it. Babata's search speed was extremely fast. What are the conditions? LuoFeng's eyes gleamed. Exploring the universe and discovering a new planet, or discovering a planet without a leader, there are 3 choices. Babata said. The first choice is to tell the Empire and receive the Empire's reward. The Black Dragon Mountain Empire will reward you according to the planet. The lowest is 10 billion Black Dragon dollars, the highest is 100 billion Black Dragon dollars. Of course, the first choice, you cannot become Earth's leader. The second choice is to directly buy the planet. As you are the one who discovered it, you will need to spend very little money to buy it. According to the planet's level, you will need to pay at least 300 billion Black Dragon dollars, the highest is 3 trillion Black Dragon dollars. LuoFeng took in a deep cold breath. It was too expensive. However, LuoFeng was clear, the buying and selling of a planet, the price was ridiculous. After all, owning a life planet was equivalent to owning a cornucopia. And a planet's lifespan was usually very, very long, with hundreds of millions of years as the unit of measurement. It could definitely be used as a family treasure. Of course, because a human's lifespan was limited. Hence, the buying and selling price of a planet was usually in the trillions of Black Dragon dollars. The third choice is to cooperate with the Empire to manage the planet. You only need to pay at least 100 billion, the highest 1 trillion Black Dragon dollars. Babata said, this cooperation, the Black Dragon Mountain Empire will not interfere with the internal management of the planet, they will only collect the import and export taxes. They won't care about anything else. The second and third choices are both ways to become Earth's leader. LuoFeng listened and nodded. A planet's best way to earn money was through import and export taxes. A planet in the universe, if it didn't have any connections with the outside world, how would it earn universe currency? I don't care about the taxes, I can cooperate with the Black Dragon Mountain Empire. However, I have no money. LuoFeng was helpless. It's not just money, you have no way to apply for Earth to become your territory. Babata said. Why? LuoFeng was curious. How do you apply? Back then, your teacher Hu Yenbo's body traveled through the universe and entered the dark universe. Using space techniques, he covered the universe coordinates of close to 1,000 light years around Earth. Other ships have no way of finding these coordinates. Naturally, they can't travel through the universe to reach Earth. Babata said, normal ships can only rely on flying close to 1,000 light years away, flying for close to 1,000 years before reaching Earth. Don't tell me when you applied to become Earth's leader, you said, we flew close to 1,000 years and discovered this planet? First of all, a planet discovered after flying for nearly 1,000 years is worthless. No one is willing to spend so much time on trade. Secondly, as long as they are not stupid, they might suspect that you are the descendant of Yunmo planet. Unless someone can decipher your teacher's spatial secret technique. In other words, unless a new wormhole is suddenly discovered in the surrounding star field, Earth will still be safe for the time being. Dragon Star in a private room of a restaurant. His consciousness returned to reality. At least right now Earth is still safe. LuoFeng smiled, picking up the fruit juice beside him and drinking. LuoFeng squinted, creasing his eyebrows. This taste. A very strange smell. The moment he drank it, goosebumps rose all over his body. However, when he tasted it carefully, he found that the taste was truly unique. It had a unique flavor. Oh, it's our first time drinking this stuff, one more. LuoFeng laughed happily. Buzz. The arm guard on his arm vibrated slightly. On Horn Dragon Star, only Gao Sheng had his own communication number. Haha, LuoFeng, my business is done. Let's eat together. Gao Sheng shouted. Where? LuoFeng laughed. North District of Horn Dragon City, not far from the slave market, there's a pretty good place to eat. It's called the 100 Flavors Restaurant. Gao Sheng said. Alright, I'll be there within half an hour. LuoFeng ended the call, raising his head and finishing his first foreign planet fruit juice in one gulp. Smacking his lips twice, he headed out. Milky Way Earth. The sun was resplendent, shining down on the waves of the ocean below. In the air above the ocean, 2 silhouettes flew side by side, heading towards the Sahara Desert. It was Hong and Thunder God. That third brat actually didn't say anything and just slipped away. Thunder God was fuming. Third brother has to leave for a month, he probably has something important to do. Hong said calmly, how can a man not have his own secrets? When he returns, if he's willing to tell us, he'll tell us. Humph, when that time comes, I'll definitely use alcohol to force him to drink. Thunder God gritted his teeth. Hong and Thunder God chatted as they flew. Life on Earth was indeed extremely leisurely. Ever since the swallowing monster incident, Hong, Thunder God and LuoFeng, these 3 warriors had made humanity stronger than ever. And the 2 great emperors of the sea monsters had all died, causing the threat level to drop to its lowest. Earth was peaceful. These peaceful days had already lasted for over 2 years. The people of Earth didn't know, in a star field not too far away from Earth, a universe explorer ship with shocking speed was heading straight towards Earth. 320,000 light years away from Earth, Dragon Star. Dragon Star North District, 100 Flavors Restaurant 2nd level. Over here, over here. A voice resounded. LuoFeng turned to look, Gao Sheng stood up and waved. LuoFeng immediately smiled and walked over. Brother Gao Sheng, you seem to be in a good mood. LuoFeng sat down. Of course I'm in a good mood. Gao Sheng's small eyes shone. He then smiled and proudly said, I'll tell you later. I'll order first. This 100 Flavors restaurant has several famous dishes. Gao Sheng slightly waved his hand after saying this. Suddenly, a beautiful and enchanting woman with blue hair came over. LuoFeng looked over. Oh? LuoFeng was shocked. This jade-haired woman was beautiful. What shocked LuoFeng the most was her strength wasn't even at the Star Traveler level. On Dragon Star, most of the people on the streets were Star Traveler levels, a few star levels. The restaurant I went to before to drink fruit juice, the waiters were all normal people. I didn't expect this restaurant to be the same. However, the Virtual Universe Company and the government's employees are all Star Traveler level. LuoFeng thought about it and understood. The salaries of normal people were cheap. Maybe they didn't even need a salary. LuoFeng, that woman from before wasn't bad, right? The Dream Shell clan women are all beautiful. Gaosheng blinked. If you like her, take her away, just tell the boss. Take her away? LuoFeng was shocked. A beautiful woman who isn't even a Star Traveler level, her fate is usually very tragic. Gaosheng exclaimed, she's not even a citizen, there's no law to protect her. Anyone with a bit of power can kill her whenever he wants, snatch her away whenever he wants. Just grab her and she can be sold as a slave. If she could be like brother LuoFeng, it would be her fortune. LuoFeng was shocked within. Kill her whenever he wanted? Capture her whenever he wanted? Become a slave? Even though Babata had said long ago that those below the Star Traveler level had tragic fates in the universe, the normal people mostly lived on the mother planet, they didn't even have the qualifications to buy a ship ticket. However, hearing Gaosheng's words and seeing the beautiful Dream Shell clan woman beside him, who actually had such a fate, he felt even more emotional. Look, she's peeking at you, brother LuoFeng. Gaosheng teased. LuoFeng's gaze swept. Immediately he saw the Dream Shell clan lady peeking over from the corner of the restaurant. She had obviously heard Gaosheng's words, hence she peeked over, being discovered by LuoFeng, her face flushed red and she ran into the kitchen. Exquisite dishes were served one by one. It was indeed delicious, incomparably delicious. Today I went to meet an elder, haha, he really gave me too much face. He actually agreed to let me follow him for a few years and learn well. Gaosheng was beaming with joy. That elder of mine, he's a big shot in the energy business. Following him, 1, I can learn experience, 2, I can also build connections. Energy business? In the universe, the various planets traded with each other, they relied on ships, transport ships, etc. However, for ships and battleships to fly they required energy. Even Undying Realm experts needed energy. Whether it was on Earth or in the universe. The energy business had always been an extremely profitable business with extremely high entry requirements, much higher than the slave trade. No matter, without connections, even if you had money, you wouldn't be able to enter. This Gaosheng, his background isn't simple. LuoFeng thought. When his son matured he gave him a planet. And now Gaosheng was slowly entering the energy business. LuoFeng, when are you leaving? Looks like I'll have to stay on Dragon Star for a few years. Gaosheng said. Very soon, I might have to return today. LuoFeng said. Coming to Dragon Star, his main matters were pretty much done. According to what Babata said, there was only one thing left, to go to the Ganwu dojo to sign up. After signing up he could leave Dragon Star. That fast. Gaosheng was a little regretful. What's your virtual universe number? When we brothers have time, we'll have some fun. Alright. Luckily the moment he opened the account, LuoFeng told his virtual universe number to Gaosheng. Gaosheng also told his number to LuoFeng. From now on, even if the two were separated by tens of millions of light years, they could still communicate through the virtual universe. In the dining hall, LuoFeng and Gaosheng were chatting. Suddenly, 3 youths walked up the stairs, all of them were close to 2 m tall, silver hair flowing, their pupils a soul-stirring blue. The 3 of them were dressed in black uniforms, the one in the middle had a metal-like colored pendant on his left chest. LuoFeng, look, these 3 Ganwu dojo students, the one in the middle is a resident of Dragon Star, he has his own property here. Gaosheng said softly. Ah. LuoFeng looked. That black uniform was the Ganwu dojo's uniform training uniform. That medal was the identification of a Dragon Star resident. With this medal, it was the safest protection on Dragon Star. Wei Lin, just lend me your spirit weapon to play with for half a day. Of the 3 students, the one on the left said. I just bought it for myself. The student in the middle with the medal flipped his hand, and in his hand appeared a strange metal plate that seemed to be formed from an axe blade. On the plate were strange engravings. This is a level 2 spirit weapon of the highest quality. I begged my family for a long time before I got my bank card. If I'm unable to reach the universe level, this spirit weapon will accompany me for the rest of my life. 6 billion black dragon dollars, that's enough to buy a few C-grade ships. The moment I swipe my card, I'll feel the pinch. That student purposely shouted, causing many people in the dining hall to look over. 6 billion black dragon dollars? Top quality level 2 spirit weapon? Top quality spirit weapon. The 2 students' eyes gleamed. I won't even dare to think about it in this lifetime. A spirit reader, only with a spirit weapon can he unleash his full power. However, the manufacturing process of a spirit weapon was extremely complicated, hence its price was very high. Much less this top quality level 2 spirit weapon. Hee. The student called Wei Lin as though he was caressing a woman's skin, gently stroking the spirit weapon in his hands, his gaze intense. At the distant table, LuoFeng and Gaosheng looked over. Spirit weapon? LuoFeng was slightly startled, asking within, Babata, my soaring shuttle and arc cutter blade, what grade of spirit weapon are they? LuoFeng, spirit weapons are split into normal, level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Normal ones have almost no amplification effect, their prices are extremely cheap. Level 1 spirit weapons can unleash a star-level spirit reader's full power. Level 2 spirit weapons are enough for a star-level spirit reader to use. Level 5 are for sector lords. Babata said, your arc cutter blade and soaring shuttle can both be used up to the universe level, hence they are both level 3 spirit weapons. Level 3. LuoFeng was overjoyed within. This young man who came to the restaurant's second floor, that level 2 spirit weapon was already so expensive. His own 2 weapons were probably even more expensive. A weapon, the easier it is to use, the more expensive it is. Babata said, for example, LuoFeng, your soaring shuttle's second form requires an amplification of 30 before it can be used. Because you have the golden horn beast's body, that's why your consciousness is so strong. And normally only a star level 5 or 6 can reach this requirement. Especially the third form is even more insane, an amplification of 48 universe level with a domain, it has 3 requirements. Babata said. LuoFeng was stunned. Same level 2 spirit weapon, if one requires an amplification of 30, the other requires 20 to unleash the same power, which do you think is more expensive? Babata asked. Oh. LuoFeng nodded. Hence, this young man called Wei Lin, his weapon is extremely easy to use, hence it's called a level 2 high quality. Your soaring shuttle's requirements are too high, hence it's a level 3 low quality. Your arc cutter blade's requirements are slightly lower, it's a level 3 middle quality. If you buy the soaring shuttle from a weapon shop, it's about 5 billion black dragon dollars. And the arc cutter blade, it's about 20 billion. Babata explained. The difference is that huge? LuoFeng was shocked. He felt that the 2 weapons' power was about the same. The price difference was shocking. Of course the difference is huge. A weapon, other universe level 1 can use it, but yours you have to wait until the universe level 7 or 8 to use it. How can it be the same? Babata asked. LuoFeng understood a little. Level 3 high quality, that's 100 billion. Level 3 high quality, that's about 500 billion. Babata said casually, to a universe level warrior, spending hundreds of billions to buy a good weapon is very normal. To the strong, the most important things are weapons, battlesuits, secret techniques, and then the flying ship. A universe level warrior, joining an empire, could easily obtain over 10 planets as his territory. Such an expert indeed wouldn't care too much about a few hundred billion. Second floor of the restaurant. Many customers were distracted by the conversation between the 3 young men. 6 billion. That was an astronomical figure even for a star state. As long as my telekinesis amplitude reaches 18, I will be able to unleash its second stage power. The young man called Wei Lin slightly waved the strange golden disc in his hand proudly. Whoosh, the golden disc instantly flew up and flew in the corridor on the second floor of the restaurant. Wei Lin was very proud of himself. Oh. The golden disc flew past the waitresses, scaring them. Ha ha ha, don't be afraid. My control is very strong. Wei Lin was extremely pleased with himself. What exquisite control. The 2 students at the side also flattered. Ah. Just as she walked out of the kitchen with the tray in her hands, she saw a blue-haired waitress charging at her with a golden light. She was so frightened that her hands trembled, causing the tray to spill. The sauce of the dish just so happened to spill on the golden round plate that was doing an exquisite circling flight beside her, causing the golden round plate to become dirty right away. My spirit weapon. Wei Lin's expression changed, screaming. The golden disc landed in front of him. Looking at the black sauce on the disc, Wei Lin was so angry his entire body was trembling. Just like on Earth when a car lover just bought a new car only to have food splashed on it, that feeling of anger. This spirit weapon was many times more expensive than a car. After spending 6 billion black dragon dollars in Wei Lin's heart, this spirit weapon was even more important than his girlfriend. To actually be splashed with sauce on the first day. Bastard. Wei Lin's gaze swept across the jade-haired waitress, gritting his teeth. Bitch, go and die. Rumble. The golden disc became a golden beam of light, flying straight towards the waitress. No. The waitress's face was filled with fear, she couldn't even dodge in time. Who? Waves of formless and strong spirit energy, like dense vines, swiftly coiled around the golden disc, causing the golden light to fly in an arc, crashing into the wall beside. Rumble. The wall that could withstand a star-level warrior's attack had a dent in it, but the window immediately exploded and flew out. One of the window frames swept across the waitress's arm, causing it to break, fresh blood staining the floor. Sir, stop. A silhouette appeared at the side, it was the restaurant manager. Oh, who blocked me? Wei Lin roared in anger looking around. Sir. The restaurant manager shouted. Who the hell are you? Wei Lin pointed at the restaurant manager. Didn't you see, your people dirted my spirit weapon? Do you know what weapon this is, how much it's worth? 6 billion black dragon dollars. Even if you sold your entire restaurant, you wouldn't be able to afford it, you actually dirted my spirit weapon. The restaurant manager was already a star level, hearing the 6 billion number, his face turned ugly. Sir, I'm sorry. The restaurant manager turned around, his cold gaze sweeping across the waitress, not caring about the broken arm waitress at all. Who dirted the customer's weapon? Being stared at by the restaurant manager. The jade-haired waitress was filled with fear, she was very clear on how strong the restaurant manager was. In her hometown, a star-level warrior was already a demon king, an unrivaled and powerful being. And on Horn Dragon Star, where powerful beings were everywhere, their restaurant manager was a star-level warrior. It's her. Wei Lin pointed at the jade-haired waitress. Sir, she's yours now, you can do whatever you want with her. The restaurant manager smiled at Wei Lin. Sir, everything you spend here today is free. Who interfered just now? Wei Lin's gaze swept across every customer. Which spirit reader? What, you had the guts to be a hero saving a damsel in distress, but now you don't have the guts to admit it. Bastard, come out. Come out. As a resident of Dragonstar, they had the safest protection, even a universe-level warrior wouldn't dare kill a resident of Dragonstar. This was the privilege of a resident. Hence, Wei Lin was so unbridled. Oh, you don't dare admit it? Wei Lin's gaze swept across every single person. Bastard, what are you shouting for? A cold voice resounded. Wei Lin immediately looked over. The one who spoke was the calm and relaxed black-haired youth with the liquid silver guard standing behind him. The entire restaurant was silent. With one look, it was obvious this was a big family's fight, hence most people kept quiet. Oh, who are you? Wei Lin carefully examined LuoFeng. LuoFeng couldn't be bothered with Wei Lin's background. No matter how big your background is, I'll leave soon and return to Earth. Earth's dark universe coordinates were hidden by my teacher's space technique. Even an undying warrior would have a hard time breaking it. Once I return to Earth, even if you're the Black Dragon Mountain Empire's crown prince, you won't be able to do anything to me. Haha brother, I just said you liked this lady, you still won't admit it? Gao Xing laughed from the side. No, I just can't bear to see this place spilled with blood. LuoFeng laughed. Wei Lin saw that the other two didn't even look at him, instead chatting amongst themselves, he couldn't help but feel even more frustrated. The star-level restaurant manager was extremely embarrassed. On a normal planet, a star level was an invincible warrior. However, on Dragonstar, where fish and dragons mix together, he had to be extremely careful. Didn't he see they were using 6 billion spirit weapons? Didn't he see on the other side the 4 bodyguards standing behind him were all star levels? And 2 liquid silver guards? Neither side was easy to mess with. I say brother. Gao Xing glanced at Wei Lin. Is there a need to bother with a pitiful little lady who hasn't even reached the star traveler level? You're losing points. And who are you? Wei Lin looked at Gao Xing. Gao Xing, Emperor Wei. Gao Xing said casually. Emperor Wei? Wei Lin creased his eyebrows, turning to look at LuoFeng. You still haven't told me your identity. Just a spirit reader. LuoFeng waved his hand. 2 golden beams of light flew around. This scene made the restaurant manager break out in cold sweat. Damn, 2 spirit weapons? The group of customers on the restaurant's second floor all had gleaming eyes. To them, Dragonstar was a planet even more prosperous than the Imperial Capital Star. Coming here was just for sightseeing. Coming to Dragonstar? It was indeed an eye-opener. Wei Lin squinted with his vision. One look and he could tell that these 2 spirit weapons weren't any weaker than his. Emperor Wei? Don't tell me, it's the legendary Emperor Wei family? Wei Lin gritted his teeth, not making a sound, not leaving any pleasantries. He turned and left. The other 2 students followed him and left. Haha, interesting. Gao Xing laughed. I didn't expect to encounter such a thing on my first visit to Dragonstar, hee. My actions earlier, did I bring trouble to brother Gao Xing? LuoFeng was a little embarrassed. He just patted his butt and returned to Earth. However, this Gao Xing said he would be back in the next few years. No problem, just a little brat. Gao Xing laughed. On this Dragonstar, there's no one I can't afford to offend. Damn. LuoFeng laughed involuntarily. Those words were awesome. However, LuoFeng didn't know. The children of the family, the coming-of-age ceremony to receive a planet, such treatment was shocking. If he really understood, he would understand the power of Gao Xing's family. Manager. Gao Xing shouted. Sir. The restaurant manager ran to one side. He had heard it before. There was no one on Dragonstar that they couldn't afford to offend, who would dare to say such a thing. Even the Emperor of the Silver Blue Empire wouldn't dare say such a thing. Unless it was someone from the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, or someone even more powerful. That waitress will follow me later. Gao Xing said. Yes, sir. The restaurant manager smiled. It's her honor. Gao Xing nodded. The restaurant manager left and went downstairs. LuoFeng smiled at Gao Xing. You've taken a liking to her? Gao Xing's chubby face was full of smiles. After this incident, this restaurant definitely wouldn't dare keep this waitress. They'll throw her into the slave market. When that time comes, her fate will definitely be tragic. This person just can't see beautiful women suffering. Anyway, I just want a few servants on Dragonstar, I'll just take them. Right, if you like her you can take her. LuoFeng laughed. I'm a vagabond, I'll follow you. Vagabond? Are you training or something? Oh, forget I asked. Right after we finished eating, how about we make a trip to the slave market? Getting a few slaves to be servants and bodyguards, that's not a bad idea. Gao Xing suggested. Slave market. LuoFeng nodded. Alright. Emperor Wei? Wei Lin creased his eyebrows, turning to look at LuoFeng. You still haven't told me your identity. Just a spirit reader. LuoFeng waved his hand. 2 golden beams of light flew around. This scene made the restaurant manager break out in cold sweat. Damn, 2 spirit weapons? The group of customers on the restaurant's second floor all had gleaming eyes. To them, Dragonstar was a planet even more prosperous than the Imperial Capital Star. Coming here was just for sightseeing. Coming to Dragonstar? It was indeed an eye-opener. Wei Lin squinted with his vision. One look and he could tell that these 2 spirit weapons weren't any weaker than his. Emperor Wei? Don't tell me, it's the legendary Emperor Wei family? Wei Lin gritted his teeth, not making a sound, not leaving any pleasantries. He turned and left. The other two students followed him and left. Haha, interesting, interesting. Gao Xing laughed. I didn't expect to encounter such a thing on my first visit to Dragonstar, hee. My actions earlier, did I bring trouble to brother Gao Xing? LuoFeng was a little embarrassed. He just patted his butt and returned to Earth. However, this Gao Xing said he would be back in the next few years. No problem, just a little brat. Gao Xing laughed. On this Dragonstar, there's no one I can't afford to offend. Damn. LuoFeng laughed involuntarily. Those words were awesome. However, LuoFeng didn't know. The children of the family, the coming-of-age ceremony to receive a planet, such treatment was shocking. If he really understood, he would understand the power of Gao Xing's family. Manager. Gao Xing shouted. Sir. The restaurant manager ran to one side. He had heard it before. There was no one on Dragonstar that they couldn't afford to offend, who would dare to say such a thing. Even the Emperor of the Silver Blue Empire wouldn't dare say such a thing. Unless it was someone from the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, or someone even more powerful. That waitress will follow me later. Gao Xing said. Yes, sir. The restaurant manager smiled. It's her honor. Gao Xing nodded. The restaurant manager left and went downstairs. LuoFeng smiled at Gao Xing. You've taken a liking to her? Gao Xing's chubby face was full of smiles. After this incident, this restaurant definitely wouldn't dare keep this waitress. They'll throw her into the slave market. When that time comes, her fate will definitely be tragic. This person just can't see beautiful women suffering. Anyway, I just want a few servants on Dragonstar. I'll just take them. Right, if you like her you can take her. LuoFeng laughed. I'm a vagabond, I'll follow you. Vagabond? Are you training or something? Oh, forget I asked. Right after we finished eating, how about we make a trip to the slave market? Getting a few slaves to be servants and bodyguards, that's not a bad idea. Gao Xing suggested. Slave market. LuoFeng nodded. Alright. 2-star traveler youths, 4-star level bodyguards and 2 liquid silver guards, 1 dream shell clan servant. This was LuoFeng's little team. Even though the star level is considered a powerful warrior, the universe level is the true tyrant. The tyrant of a galaxy. LuoFeng thought as he walked, when my golden horned beast reaches the universe level, that's when I'll have enough power. However, the golden horned beast swallows metals. I need large amounts of money to buy them. Money, money, money. Why don't I sell the arc cutter blade? LuoFeng pondered. He had the soaring shuttle and the arc cutter blade. He only needed 1 spirit weapon for normal battles. What's more, he had his ultimate weapon, the hybrid copper essence shard. Should I sell the arc cutter blade? LuoFeng struggled within. LuoFeng, there's a treasure shop in front. There are all sorts of special treasures, all sorts of random things. The only thing they have in common is that they're all treasures. Hence they're all very expensive. Let's go take a look first. The slave market isn't far from here anyway. Gao Xing laughed and shouted. Treasure shop. LuoFeng curiously followed Gao Xing into the treasure shop. This treasure shop took up a huge amount of space, comparable to Earth's large plazas. Within the shop there were battle uniforms, tamed beasts, spirit weapons, special fruits, robots, etc., all sorts of random things. They all had holograms, all of them extremely expensive. This treasure shop can't compare to spirit weapons, robots and other shops that have a full range of goods. However, its power lies in its complexity. Gao Xing complimented, brother, you take a look first, I'll take a good look and play with it. LuoFeng looked at the holograms one by one, looking at the prices. Expensive. Too expensive. There's even a cloud contact vine seed? The amethyst fruit, that's sick. LuoFeng's expression was calm, however his heart was in turmoil. Even if he were to sell Earth, this shop still wouldn't be able to afford it. This is. LuoFeng suddenly saw a small piece of metal. From his memories, it was an extremely important metal for training in deities of the world. That's it. The first level of deities of the world, this metal was the most important. Price, translated to Earth's units, 1 gram is 200 black dragon dollars? LuoFeng stared, using grams as a unit? With the golden horned beast's body size, when it eats, it would be measured in tons. LuoFeng felt a sense of powerlessness. In the universe, this metal was sold by the gram. Just like on Earth, gold was sold by the gram. Even the richest man on Earth would be dumbfounded if a pet suddenly had to eat tons of gold every day. It was the same principle. 1 gram is 200 black dragon coins. 1 ton, that's 200 million black dragon dollars? LuoFeng blinked. The golden horned beast trains in deities of the world. It eats about a ton every day that year. An astronomical number, a series of numbers floated through LuoFeng's mind. No wonder, no wonder. No wonder generations after generations of golden horned beasts only managed to complete the first level of deities of the world. Brother LuoFeng, what are you looking at? Gao Xing walked over and looked. Memory attributed metal? This kind of metal is good stuff. If you mix a little of it into a weapon, it will automatically recover from damage. There were many types of memory metals. They were all calculated by the gram. I'm going out to get some fresh air. LuoFeng got more and more angry and helpless as he looked. In the vast universe there were many treasures. Things that strengthen one's strength, things that strengthen one's soul, there were many. Don't be afraid of not having treasures, just afraid of not having enough money to buy them. With enough wealth, buying a planet was extremely easy, making trillions of people your slaves was also very simple. I'm not looking either, I don't have money to buy them. Let's go to the slave market. Gao Xing said helplessly. The slave market took up an area of over 300 kilometers. If it was on Earth, it would definitely be a gigantic city. However, on Dragonstar, it was only a small part of Dragon City. The slave market was filled with people. This was the largest slave market in the surrounding 100 galaxies. These Iron Luo people are all very strong. Even though they don't know how to train and are a bit dumb, they are all comparable to a student level 9 fighter. Each one only costs 20 black dragon dollars. If you buy a lot, you can even get a discount. Outside the huge slave market, there were even people helping to attract customers, enthusiastically introducing. LuoFeng was a bit speechless. Student level 9? Isn't that the same as Earth's advanced level war gods? 20 black dragon dollars for one? Spending 100 million, doesn't that mean you can buy 5 million advanced level war gods? Star Traveler level and below can't become citizens, hence the prices are very low. Gao Xing said as he walked. Star Traveler level and below, unless they are absolute beauties or have some special characteristics, they usually cost around 10 black dragon dollars. Look over there, they're all beauties. In the distance, a group of incomparably beautiful women of all races, some with fair skin, some with furry tails, some with cat ears, some looking like Earth's people. Every single one of them, if placed on Earth, would be devastatingly beautiful. Each one is 5,000 black dragon dollars. They're all top-grade beauties. If you buy more, you can even get a discount. Beside, a beautiful lady shouted. Oh. LuoFeng looked at the other plaza. The strong energy of the strong was wantonly emitting. Many Star Traveler level 6 and 7, even level 8 and 9 fighters and spirit readers were standing there. Only a small number of Star Traveler level 3 and 4. Many of their auras were no weaker than Hong and Thunder God. 5,000? 8,000? That Star Traveler level 8 is 20,000? Star Traveler level 9 spirit reader is 100,000? LuoFeng looked at the prices. 100,000 black dragon dollars, one could buy a Star Traveler level 9 spirit reader. If placed on Earth, that would be almost invincible. Gao Xing, who was beside LuoFeng, didn't care. Star Traveler levels can at most be hired thugs or servants. They don't have much use. In the universe, the Star level is considered the best level for bodyguards and servants. However, the Star Traveler level and below is about 10 black dragon dollars, the Star Traveler level is about 10,000, and the Star level is about 100 million. Under Gao Sheng's lead, they quickly arrived at an even more spacious plaza. Standing there were a total of 18 fighters and spirit readers. They were Star level 1, 2, 3, level 9 fighter and spirit reader, one each. Every one of them had a price. The 18 Star level slaves all automatically released their auras, displaying their strength. Especially the Star level 8 and 9, they were much stronger than the Golden Horn Beast from back then. This group of people gathered together. The aura they emitted made LuoFeng tremble uncontrollably. So strong. Gao Xing muttered beside, it's making my legs tremble uncontrollably. Very strong. LuoFeng held his breath. Leaping through levels was a leap in life itself. The further one went, the more exaggerated the leap would be. If it was said that a Star Traveler level 1 was several times stronger than a student level 9, then a Star Traveler level 1 was more than 10 times stronger than a Star Traveler level 9, and a Universe level 1 was much stronger than a Star Traveler level 9. The further one went, the greater the gap between the levels. This was also why back then the Star Traveler level 7 and 8 Hong and Thunder God, who were both domain warriors and had their souls immolated, couldn't even break through the Golden Horn Beast's scales. It was Hong's final burst of power that broke through the scales. One was that the Golden Horn Beast was too strong, two was that the gap between the Star level and Star Traveler level was too high, the difference was too huge. These 18 slaves, all of their auras were much stronger than LuoFeng's. Taking out a Star level 7 or 8. It would definitely sweep through the entire Earth. One finger could crush LuoFeng to death. Star level 1 fighters sure are cheap, only 1 million. Star level 4 fighters 20 million? Star level 7 fighters are too expensive, they actually cost 500 million. Star level 8 fighters 2 billion, Star level 9 fighters 5 billion. LuoFeng looked at the prices. As for spirit readers, it was 3 times the price of a fighter of the same level. The prices are still reasonable. Gao Xing evaluated. This gentleman, do you have any plans for these Star level slaves? Immediately, a person in charge of the plaza ran over, obviously looking at LuoFeng and Gao Xing's bodyguards. He guessed that they were big customers with the ability to buy. I already have all the Star level ones. Gao Xing looked at the person in charge, smiling. I heard that on Dragonstar there were universe level slaves for sale? LuoFeng was shocked. Universe level slaves? A galaxy's normal development would only produce one universe level warrior. Universe level, that was a true local tyrant. However, regarding the slaves' information LuoFeng had learned from Babata, the slaves' brains were all implanted with a biochip, after which it fused with the brain. The moment it was implanted, there was no way to leave, they would be completely loyal to the master. To destroy the biochip, one had to destroy the brain. And the human warrior's soul was in the consciousness. Hence, destroying the brain meant death. Unless one became a domain lord. The domain lord's soul could already leave the brain, destroying the biochip in the brain. According to the theory, with the biochip implanted, the strongest the slave could reach was a universe level 9. Of course, if it was the UNMO planet secret technique, the soul imprint technique, that could even control an undying warrior. However, that technique, in the vast universe, it was a top secret technique that definitely wouldn't be passed on to outsiders. Universe level slave? If you want to buy it, sure, our boss above can arrange it. The person in charge smiled. I'm just asking, I can't afford it. Gao Xing laughed loudly. Universe-level slaves are expensive. No choice, capturing a universe-level warrior alive was already difficult. Adding the biochip implanted makes it even harder. A universe level, its price is in the trillions of black dragon dollars. More expensive than a planet. The person in charge shook his head. From what I see, with that money, you might as well buy 10 or 20 star level 9 warriors back. Who knows, if your luck is good, one of them will break through to the universe level. When that time comes and you sell it, wouldn't you be rich? You're messing with me. Gao Xing stared. A star level 9 breaking through to the universe level? 1 out of 100,000? I'm just saying. The person in charge laughed loudly. LuoFeng, however, looked at the slaves with envy. A star level 8 or 9, compared to his Earth clone, was over 1,000 times stronger. Even if the star level 4 golden horn beast went all out, it wouldn't be a match. If he didn't meet a universe level, such a slave as a bodyguard, he would be able to do whatever he wanted. And the slave controlled by the biochip was definitely obedient. In countless years, there had never been a case of a slave rebelling against its owner. It's just too expensive. LuoFeng creased his eyebrows. The golden horn beast needs money to become stronger. Deities of the world needs money to train. Becoming a leader of Earth needs money too. Getting powerful and obedient underlings still needs money. Damn it. LuoFeng gritted his teeth. I don't use the arc cutter blade much anyway. The real trump card is the hybrid copper essence shard. I might as well sell the arc cutter blade. When that time comes, I'll have enough money to train and buy slaves. He's actually here for the second time. He should be here to buy something. The shop attendant saw LuoFeng and welcomed him passionately. Dear sir, what can I do for you? The waiter asked with a smile. I want to sell a spirit weapon. LuoFeng looked at him. This shocked the attendant. LuoFeng continued, it's level 3. Please wait a moment. The attendant was trembling. Spirit weapons were originally a luxury item. The price of every increase in level was frightening. Even the lowest level 3 spirit weapons had a few billion, and the highest level 3 ones could reach up to a few hundred billion. Sir, please come inside to discuss. Very quickly the attendant ran out, respectfully bringing LuoFeng to a guest room inside. Within the guest room, the originally seated old man with red and blue stripes on his face, a 2.6 m tall old man, smiled and stood up, slightly bowing. Respected customer, I heard you want to sell a level 3 spirit weapon? This was a star level 6 warrior. On a normal planet he was definitely an invincible being. Yes. LuoFeng nodded. I wonder what spirit weapon it is? The old man asked. LuoFeng flipped his hand and the arc cutter blade appeared. The old man's eyes gleamed. This is the arc cutter blade in the Black Dragon Mountain Empire's normal spirit weapon shops. The arc cutter blade's price is 21 billion black dragon dollars. LuoFeng said. Developing a mature spirit weapon, it was easy to imitate it. Of course, normal level 3 spirit weapons, only Sector Lord warriors could barely create and imitate it. It even required an undying being to create it. Selling weapons had always been an extremely profitable business, just like how the soaring shuttle was created by Hu Yenbo, but the arc cutter blade wasn't created by him. The number of soaring shuttles in the universe was relatively low. The arc cutter blade, however, was a rather common level 3 spirit weapon. Its usage methods, this treasure shop definitely had it. A green light enveloped the arc cutter blade. It's a standard arc cutter blade. The materials used are not bad, and it's in perfect condition. The old man smiled as he looked at LuoFeng. I can give you 16 billion black dragon dollars to buy it. 18 billion, I can't go any lower. LuoFeng shook his head. This 18 billion was what Babata had told him. 18 billion black dragon dollars? The old man looked at LuoFeng. This youth before him seemed to have a good understanding of their line of work. If they wanted to purchase, first of all it would be difficult. They would have to wait for the goods. Spirit weapons were after all something only sector lords could imitate and create. Secondly, they would have to spend over 18 billion to get one arc cutter blade. Deal. The old man looked at LuoFeng.